Alright, so the Marvels and Loki Season 2 are officially released, and we're now towards the end of 2023, where we now have a total of 5 MCU projects that were released during Phase 5, and even with these products that were hits and misses, and some of which were really good, and just so much more, and some products that I didn't end up liking. And so this will be my full updated MCU ranking of all the projects in Phase 5 from worst to best with the Marvels, and even with this ranking, and again, these are just my own opinions, and just to keep you all in mind as well. And so if you're new, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell. There's so much on video. So let's get into it. And now, coming at last place at number 5 is Secret Invasion. Now, this show had the potential to be good because even with the recent projects in the MCU that were hits and misses, and this had the potential to be good even with the marketing and the trailers may look like a spy thriller of who do you trust, who's a Skrull and who's not a Skrull, and even had Nick Fury as the lead in his own project. We also had Maria Hill, Talos, Gaia played by Emilia Clarke, and had like a good cast. With Everett Ross played by Martin Freeman, and even the show had a promising start at the beginning of the show, and as the show progresses, you're wondering what mysteries are about to be unraveled, and with every scene that you expect is going to be action packed, and even for what reveals are about to go down, and even towards the end of it, it felt really rushed and just like a generic product that we've seen like a gajillion times, and it felt like it just left us with more questions than answers. They'll probably say like it's gonna be answered down the road in future projects, but I feel like we have to wait like down the road for something that has to be answered. And even towards the end, it had like a plot that we should have seen right at the beginning of the show, but it was a complete letdown to me. And next, at number 4 is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And now this was the film to kick off Phase 5 of the MCU, where we have this threatening Kang the Conqueror, played by Jonathan Majors, and with Scott Lang and his family, including for casting Lang, and they'll get sucked inside of a quantum realm. And it was so much fun to explore everything that was down there, and what Janet Van Dyne has been up to all the time while she was down there. And we have Hank Pym involved as well. And even Kang the Conqueror, that was like a menacing villain. Like, he was terrifying every time that he was on screen and threatening Scott. And just with the entire film itself, I feel like it spends 90% of its time in the quantum realm. But even with the marketing, and it was teasing this fight between Scott versus Kang, and who would win, and even for who would die, and everyone's suspecting that like someone was going to die. But even towards the end of it, it felt like a misfire because this is coming from the writer who wrote Rick and Morty, and just from the third act, it kind of felt not so good the way that they handled Kang towards the end, but even at the way that they handled MODOK as well. Like, I didn't like the look of it, and completely turned away from its source material, but it did set up the next two Avengers films from that post-credit scene. But I liked the film, and I definitely liked the chemistry between Scott and Cassie, and I liked the film overall, but it was not the greatest, but I generally liked it based on the perspective of it. Next, number 3 is The Marvels, and this was the film that has now officially released. It is out this weekend, and from what I thought, this was a fun and solid movie. We got to see the team up with Carol Danvers, Monica Rambeau, and Kamala Khan, and with the chemistry on the screen, it was amazing, and we got to see them interact to take down the villain who has the bangle, and Lily to like open like gateways and jump points, and even it was a great cosmic adventure. Like, I mean, it was a perfect movie. It was good but not great, but even like it had like some stuff in there that's not going to be for everyone, including for the humor. But even with the action and everything else, I found it to be alright. Even with the villain that was so bland and just so weak and just served like no purpose, and it had this generic dialogue that was seen a gajillion times, but everything else I found enjoyable. Like with like some stuff that I had issues with, like involving like a musical planet, and just with stuff that I was unhappy with, but even so, it was entertaining. I enjoyed my time with it. But the post-credit scene, it did set up big things for the future of the MCU, so some which y'all are not ready for, and I had my jaw dropped towards the end of the film and the way that at the end ended it. But even with the Marvels overall, I thought it was not great, but it was definitely a good, fun, and solid time. And next, number 2 is Loki Season 2, and with its finale that has just come out. And all I can say is with Loki Season 2, I thought it was amazing. It was incredible. And Tom Hiddleston just continues to deliver his performance as Loki, as the god of mischief, and who now like become from that to now being like the greatest hero. And just with the way that at this new season it opens with a variant of Kang that are coming in with this threat involving the TVA, and this new season had high stakes, but I love that the character Obi, played by Ki Kwan. I think everyone deserves awards for how things were handled and things went down in this new season. Just brilliant stuff. And even with Richard Timely, played by Jonathan Majors, I thought he gave a great performance. And even with the locations I went to, even with the time travel elements, especially with its finale, which I found to be so good. In fact, it was indeed great, incredible, and it just set up more stuff for the multiverse, and it just made Loki one of the greatest heroes of all time, and just finding his glorious purpose. And to add on top of that, this was the first season 2 of an MCU Disney Plus show where it followed up all the stuff that happened at the end of last season. It just continued to deliver high stakes. It was really cinematic and keep you on the edge of your seat, wondering for what's next, and just with epic reveals that happened, and it was stuff that'll totally leave you shocked. Towards the end of it, I thought it was amazing. It was so good just to witness how Marvel handled this character arc, and I just really enjoyed it, especially with this entire series as a whole. And I just love this show. But coming in at number 1, and my favorite MCU project from this year was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and to me, this was an incredible film and a brilliant way to conclude the Guardians trilogy, and with the way that James Gunn delivered with this film by handling all the action-packed and emotional scenes, and what kind of stakes that we have for these characters who will die, and even for what they're going through. I just truly found to be in tears with the soundtrack, and with the way that they handle Rocket's story, and with the High Evolutionary, that was a menacing villain, one of the top MCU villains that I've ever seen on screen, and plus even for the fact that I saw this twice in theaters. But every time the scenes look action packed, they don't waste any time, and especially with the pacing and everything else. James Gunn just crafted this movie perfectly, and it was a brilliant setup for this Guardians team. And just with the way that everything was handled, it was completely emotional and incredible as well. And so there you have it. This is my ranking of all the MCU projects that have come out this year, and even as we're heading into 2024 with Deadpool 3 coming out, as supposed to have big implications on the multiverse, and even without not so many projects that are coming out MCU and Disney Plus show wise, but hopefully I'll make a ranking for that. But even for 2025, it's going to have big MCU films opening up. But yeah, I enjoyed this ranking, and I enjoyed the MCU projects that have come out this year, even with the ones that were hits and misses, and some which I just really enjoyed, and some which I just didn't feel enjoyment of, but it felt entertaining in my opinion as well. And so that's going to be it for this video, and let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Know what thoughts on my ranking, and how to rank all these MCU projects from worst to best, and just let me know your ranking in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe and turn on notifications about future videos, and also follow my socials, which are linked down below. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.